Okay, before we go there, can you tell me what are the different asset classes that are there that you can invest your money in? Okay, all of you are financial advisors, correct, right? Just confirming. What are the different assets that you can invest your money in? Cash, okay. What else? Properties. What else? Equity and shares, yeah. Equity. What else? That's not an asset, that's a fake asset. I want assets, okay? NFT. I live in the real world, not in the metaverse. We are going into the matrix now. Huh? Gold, or what we call commodities, yes. What else? Last one? Bonds. Bonds. There are only 5 asset classes. Any 6th asset class is a combination of one of these 5. We call them hybrids. Okay? These are the only 5 asset classes in the world. Now, this is what a typical family balance sheet looks like. Every family, every wealthy family will have a business. They will have some properties. They will have some investments like in bonds, etc. They will have a bank account. And they have jewelry. Business is equity, property is property, investments is most like bonds, bank account is cash, your jewelry is commodity. The 5 asset classes. This is a typical family balance sheet. Can we agree on this? Yes? Okay. Now, the value of your business can go up and down? Yes? The value of your property can go up and down? Yes? The value of your investments can go up and down? The value of your bank account will go up and down based on how these 3 perform, correct or not? The value of your jewelry doesn't exist. Your wife won't allow you to sell her. That's why the men don't like jewelry. Do you understand now, women? It's not that we don't like diamonds, it's just that you will never allow us to sell it. All right, that's why we call it a dead investment. But a lot of people don't realize, happy wife, happy life, correct or not? I tell you, men, buy diamonds, you will have a lot more peace. So, when we look at this balance sheet, it goes up and down based on different factors, correct or not? So, 2022, 2032. Let's say the value of my balance sheet is $10 million, right? So I'm worth $10 million. What do you think is the value of mine in about 10 years? What do you think is my value? Any guess, guys? Any guess? Whatever you say is correct. 20 million? Yeah, that's possible, right? So my 10 million should have become 20 million, correct or not? Yes, we agree? Can my 10 also become 7 million? It can, right? So Mr. Client, I truly believe that in 10 years, your 10 million should become 20 million. I believe, because you've done it before. You've created 0 from 10. You can do 10 to 20 also. You have done it once, you can do it again. Even if the value drops to 7, I know that you will automatically, if you're there, you'll push it back to 20. You know how to do it. I have no doubt in your capability. How many of you drive a car? Most of you, okay. Now, imagine you're driving the car on the highway, okay, and all of a sudden there's a hole in the road, right, a pothole. What happens to your car? You get a jerk. How do you come out of that jerk? Your car has something called a shock absorber. So your car helps you absorb that shock so you don't feel the jerk, correct? This is your estate. It also needs a shock absorber. You see, Mr. Client, as long as you are driving, you are my shock absorber. But in case something happens to you, we have created a product which is called the gap insurance. I cover this gap. It only comes into play when something happens to you, because you can handle it otherwise. You see, I have no doubt in your capability, but your family might not be able to. So they need a shock absorber, and we call that gap insurance. Now the question is, how much gap insurance should you buy? Right? How much gap insurance should you buy? When you're driving the car, can you buy a car that makes you feel nothing at all? Impossible. Even if you have the best Rolls Royce, you will still feel some shock, right or not? So the formula for gap insurance is 25 to 50% of net worth. So if your net worth is $10 million, how much is 50%? $5 million. Can we agree? So in case in 2032 you pass away and the value of your family has become 7 million, I am a plus 5. How much is that? 7 plus 5 is 12, exactly. Which is still more than your 10, because I am a shock absorber. Now, if the value of your family is 20, how much do I pay out? I always am a plus 5. You see, that's the advantage of gap insurance. Gap insurance helps your family come out of any type of situation. If you are there, you will take care of it. But if you're not there, I take care of it. And this presentation is a very simple presentation. Can we agree? Yes? I was sitting with a client, his net worth is $200 million, and I did this presentation to him. You see, I don't ask my client, what's your net worth? They won't tell me anyways. True or not? You go to a wealthy guy and you ask them, how rich are you? Very. That's pretty much the answer you'll get. How much do you earn? A lot. True or not? So I don't even ask my clients their net worth. I just tell them the formula. And this guy is looking at me and he's like, so if my net worth is $200 million, you're saying I should be buying 100 million? I was like, yeah. Listen, guys, at that point, I'd never sold a $100 million policy in my life. Okay? So this confidence was not that high. So I'm looking at him and I'm like, uh-huh.
Dr. Sanjay Tani, visionary, financial strategist, son of an insurance legacy. By 19, he became an insurance prodigy. With a PhD in finance and degrees in banking, risk management, and insurance, Sanjay quickly rose to the top. At 28, Dr. Sanjay became the youngest brokerage CEO in the Middle East. He's now a trusted advisor to high net worth clients in 53 countries. Dr. Sanjay's innovative financial strategies protect his clients' financial futures, including tax planning, inheritance planning, and intergenerational planning. But Dr. Sanjay's expertise extends beyond insurance. He's a coach, author, and speaker for millions of financial advisors worldwide, helping countless advisors learn about the insurance world.
Mentor, Dr. Sanjay Tani!
Today, Dr. Sanjay Tani has changed the world of finance and insurance, ensuring peace of mind for individuals and businesses. With his dedication to excellence, Dr. Sanjay is a true visionary, leaning towards a brighter financial future.
All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Kickstart 2024. It's a brand new year. We just started the new year. Everybody's targets are now reset, and you have new targets to hit for this entire year. And how better to start this year learning from our family leader and our mentor, Dr. Sanjay Tani, who just last year hit a new high of 1,200 MDRT worth of production. That's 200 TOT. if my math is correct, which I think it is, right? It's just done by one person in just 1 year. So who else to teach you how to hit all your goals, all your dreams, all your ambitions for this year, 2024? Of course, before we start, I just want to let you guys know that we are doing a quick giveaway. We're giving away the financial planning ebook, right? All you have to do is take a photo right now of you joining this live session, post it on Instagram, on your Instagram story or your feed, and tag Dr. Sanjay Tolani on Instagram as with @SR Tolani. All right, so that's just a quick giveaway for you. We'll choose a winner by the end of today's session. All right, so let's begin Kickstart 2024, and let's give a warm welcome to our family leader and our mentor, Dr. Sanjay Tolani.
All right.
All
Hey,
right.
thanks, Aris. Appreciate that. Guys, 2024 has started, and if you haven't already started your production or you haven't started closing your deals, you're already 6 days late. Quick update, in the last 6 days, I have finished 2 TOTs. So I've already done 2 TOTs for the year. The reason why I want you to know this is because it just tells you that it doesn't matter which day of the year it is, our job continues to do what we need to do. A lot of advisors have asked me this question, Sanjay, why are you doing this free workshop? Guys, I want you to understand that when I joined into this business many years ago, I made a lot of friends. And as I went through this business, it's been 23 years. I've seen a lot of people leave this business. It kind of starts to upset me that the reason why they left was because they were not able to find the right prospects. They were not able to close deals. And it made me think that why don't I actually guide advisors on how to at least get out of I would say, the rat race and actually build a system that allows them to sustain and build and grow in this business. So before we start today's session, I did want to know where you guys are from. I do want to give you country specific advice as well. So if you could tell me where you are from, that'll be very nice. All right. Fantastic. So we've got people from Malaysia. There's Rodney from the US. We've got Gordana from Canada. Wow. Fantastic. Good morning, guys. I mean, it is really early in the morning. I'm glad you guys woke up to get into the session. From Malaysia, Romania, Irina, good to see you here. Annie from Hong Kong. That's fantastic. Hey, Darren. All right. Good to see everyone over here from the Philippines, from Sri Lanka. Wow, we've got people from all over the world. That's absolutely brilliant. Guys, one of the most important things about starting the year correct is understanding that Q1 is probably the most important quarter of the year. Because in Q1, a couple of things happen. Number one is bonuses start to get paid out. And when bonuses get paid out, a lot of people use up those bonuses to buy things that they don't really want to buy. It's very important to have those conversations with your client that when you do get a bonus, what are you going to do with it? So that's one very, very important factor that happens. A lot of people ask me this question, Sanjay, what can one person do to change the industry? How many of you wish our business was easier? How many of you wish clients came to us instead of us having to go to clients? You see, it's very interesting you say this, that you wish clients came to us, right? I want all of you all to understand a very interesting part of our business. The reason why clients don't come to us is, number one, most of our clients truly don't believe anything will happen to them. Most of our clients believe that they will probably not die, they will probably not fall sick, and it won't. And if it did happen, it will happen so far in the future that it wouldn't happen today. And We are a product that nobody wants to buy and then go home and try. I want you to think about this. We're probably the only product that nobody wants to take home and say, you know what, I want to try whether this product works or not. And that's one of the major reasons why clients will not come to us. And as soon as you understand this, that our product will always be a push product, it won't be a pull product, because insurance is not a priority for almost anybody that I know. It makes our life more important because our purpose is to help clients stay protected, irrespective of where they are, irrespective of what they do. I want every single advisor to be able to provide the best advice they can to their clients. And when I talk about giving their best advice, I'm talking about being able to tell their clients exactly how smooth life can be if they're well planned. Life will always be a roller coaster. You will have ups and downs. You will have things that will go wrong. You will have days which you wake up and you wish you don't have to get out of bed. You will have days like that. Having a good financial advisor who's a friend, who is a guide, who's a mentor, will help clients get through those bad days. And that's what you are. Every single one of you. I want you to stop thinking from a sales perspective, and I want you to start thinking from a friend perspective. As a friend, what do you want your friends to do so that your friends don't regret any major financial decision? So I want you to think about this, that as a friend, what advice would you give to people? I was asked this question many years ago. I remember I was attending a conference, and in that conference, there was an elderly gentleman. He asked me this question, Sanjay, if you had to do this job for free, would you still do it? Let me answer that question today for everybody. The answer is yes. If I had to do this job for free, I would still do it for everybody. And the reason is because I realized there are very few people who spend time to build a relationship with a client, to be able to give them advice that would help them get through some of the toughest times. In 2015, I was told I was helping advisors with their businesses. And I was thinking, as a single person, what can I do? What can I do to make things better? And I was sitting with my team and I said, guys, how can one person make a big change in the industry? This is my industry. My family has been in the insurance business for 3 generations. And for me, this is a generational business. As a generational business, I wanted to make an impact in this business because I wanted this business to be the business of choice for people. Nobody grows up saying that I want to become a financial advisor, I want to become an insurance advisor. And I wanted that to change. So in 2018, I started on a journey where I said, you know what? Many years from now, even if I've not made a big impact, at least I can say I did my best. So in 2018, I started on the process of building the Sanjay Mentoring family. I started this because I realized somebody needs to teach, somebody needs to share. Now, a lot of people have asked me, Sanjay, are you planning to become a trainer? Guys, let me put one thing very clear. I have no intentions of becoming a trainer. I'm a practitioner just like every single one of you. I have been in the business for 23 years. I don't intend on changing that. I love doing what I do, which is giving advice to clients. So I share ideas, I share my best practices. And the reason why I started training, or I would say the word sharing my ideas, was because I realized there are a lot of new advisors, they were lacking the system on how to build a business. The second thing I realized was There were many non-practitioners, people who don't even know anything about insurance. They were trying to teach without even having tried the strategy. And there is a perception that we have as advisors where everyone thinks that we're very pushy and we're very salesy. And I wanted that to change. I wanted us to become true advisors. I did not want us to worry about the results. The fourth reason why I realized I need to do this is because I realized a lot of advisors talk bad about each other. Guys, we all are on the same mission to protect families. We are all on the same mission to ensure that families are protected, businesses are protected, people are protected. We can't be talking bad about each other. And I want every single one of you to realize that if you find someone making a mistake, instead of talking bad about them, why don't you go up to them and tell them that, there's a better way to do what you do? As a profession, it is our responsibility that we look out for our advisors. If I see an advisor making a mistake, I tell them you're making a mistake. If I see an advisor doing something good, I recognize it and I appreciate it. And I ask them, would you mind if I share this with other people? So guys, instead of talking bad about each other, find a way to help each other grow. Because when everyone grows, the industry will progress. First of all, it doesn't matter which country you're in. The penetration rate for insurance is probably the lowest in the world. Penetration of insurance is about 2, 3, 4, 5%, going as high as maybe 10 or 11%. That means the majority of the world is uninsured or so poorly insured that they don't even have the right amount of insurance. So the competition penetration is very, very low. What I love about our business, nobody wants to join it. So we have a lot of opportunity. Now the question is 2024, what are you going to change? I wish there were many people who taught me what I know today. You see, 23 years ago when I joined into this business, my mentor was my father. And my father guided me as much as he could, but I wish there were other advisors out there that could share best practices. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do this, is give you what I'm doing for 2024. See, in 2018, 2019, I wanted to start with the basic foundations. I wanted to make sure everyone got their foundations correct. So if you joined the mentoring family in 2018, 2019, you would have learned a lot about the foundations, which was getting the right concepts, handling objections, getting the right closing strategy, finding ways to get recommended instead of looking for referrals, because I believe referrals are dead. You need to get recommended instead of getting referrals. If you're not recommended, right, referrals have stopped working. So that's what I did in 2018. So 2018, 2019, that's what I focused on. Now in 2020, after that, I started talking about high net worth clients. How do you start working with high net worth clients? How do you find high net worth clients? What are the major concerns that high net worth clients have? And that's what I started talking about. In 2021, I then started talking about finding your specialization. Now, there are 4 specializations in our industry. Number 1 is family office. So if you're into the world of family office management, that's a very, very important specialization. The second one was risk management. Number 3 was asset management. And number 4 was corporate financial planning. You see, when you go to a doctor, you would have a general practitioner and then you have specialists. Your GP can take care of pretty much everything when it comes to the basics of getting everything done. But then when you have a major problem, you want to go and see a specialist, right? It's the same in our business. When you have joined this business, the first 3, 4, 5 years, You can be a GP, but as you grow in this business going forward, it's very important to understand that you need to be a specialist. So, what specialization would you want to choose? Would you like to focus on risk management, where you sit down with the family, identify the risks that the family has, and help them get out of manage those risks? So, there was an article that I wrote many years ago, which was called Families, Businesses, and Individuals, the FBI article. Spend some time to find it. It's somewhere on one of the Facebook groups. But spend some time to look at it, because that's an article that I wrote specifically about identifying the risks that families, businesses, and individuals have, and which of those risks can be mitigated, managed, or transferred, right? So there are only three things you can do with risk: is you can either find a way to avoid it, manage it, or transfer it. And I've written a whole article on that. And if you want, you can spend it. It's there on one of the major, it's probably there in one of the Facebook groups that I have put up. The second thing was asset management. What I realized is a lot of us want to go into what we call asset management. But one of the biggest assets that we always forget when we're talking about asset management is the family itself. Your biggest asset is your family. We talk about real estate, we talk about gold, we talk about businesses, we talk about investments, but we always forget the family as an asset. When was the last time you treated your family as an asset? And I want you to think about this, that if the family is not fine, all your other assets start to lose value. So, for example, I was working with this one family and I realized, okay, let me give you the whole story. There was a very young boy. He was in his early 20s, had recently got married, and he came to my father in a party and he said, "Mr. Tolani, I've heard about you and I need to buy insurance, but I've not been able to come to see you. Can I come next week on Monday?" And my dad said, "Sure, I'll be in the office." Monday came and the boy did not come. Obviously, he became a no-show. I'm sure a lot of you have had no-shows in your life where people tell you that they will come to see you, but they actually don't come. So he didn't turn up. Um, After about a week, dad saw him again in the party, and he came to my dad and he said, "I'm so sorry I was not able to turn up. I got very busy with work. Would you mind allowing me to come and see you again?" And my dad said, "Sure, come and see me on Tuesday." Tuesday came, and again he didn't turn up. He became a no-show. After about 2, 3 weeks, again we got to see this guy in a party, and he was absolutely embarrassed. And he said, "Mr. Tolani, I'm so sorry. I have been, I've been really meaning to come and see you, but I've been very busy with my new job, and we have set up a new business, and it's really taking up a lot of my time, and I really can't. I've not been able to get out." So my dad told him, he's like, "Listen, I understand. Take your time. Whenever you're ready, come over." Suddenly, for about 3, 4 months, we did not get to see this guy in any of the usual family gatherings or social events. And after about 6 months, we found out that he passed away. His wife came to the office after about a year, and she said, "Mr. Tolani, my husband had come to you to buy insurance. I remember I was in the party with him where he told you that he'll come to buy insurance, and he did not. I wanted you to know that you were very patient with my husband, but unfortunately, he didn't realize that things were so bad for him. He was diagnosed with cancer, and we spent all the money that we had to take care of him. And now I need to find a job because I have I'm expecting to become a mom, but I don't have any money. We've spent all the money that we had. The business that he started, we had to shut down that business. The reason why I'm sharing this story is because a lot of us don't realize that the families that we protect, the biggest asset is your family. And if your family is not okay, all those assets will disappear. The third specialization is what we call corporate financial planning. Now, I know a lot of advisors like to stand in front of board of directors, do a lot of big PowerPoint presentations. So if you're an advisor that likes to sit in front of sit in front of board of directors and do PowerPoint presentations, sit down and work with multinational corporations, become an advisor to what we call corporates, then corporate financial planning is a completely separate specialization. And there are very few advisors that know how to do this correctly. I was a corporate financial advisor for approximately 6 years. It was one of the specializations that I focused on for a long time because I enjoyed it. However, today my area of expertise is primarily on family office management, where I actually sit down with families and plan for multiple generations. When I'm talking about multiple generations, we're talking about 5, 7, maybe even 10 generations of planning that we would sit down together and do. You see, family office management has been misunderstood. A lot of people think it's only about managing money. It's not. Family office management is about understanding the difference between inheritance and succession. Inheritance is the transfer of wealth. Succession is the transfer of power. Now, as the family becomes bigger and bigger, you might be able to structure inheritance in a very good way, by making sure everyone receives money on a regular basis. You could do asset inheritance, you could be doing income inheritance. But the problem usually becomes when it becomes a question of power. Who inherits, who succeeds the decision maker, right? You cannot have multiple decision makers in a family. And as you start working with the family office, it allows you to learn some major dynamics about a family. So I'll give you an example. I've worked with this one family in the past. This family is based out of Thailand. The grandfather started a business. He's got 2 sons, and both of those sons have been running that business very successfully. Now, the first son has got 2 children, and the second brother has got 1 child. Now they've got 3 children who are going to inherit the business. Question is, who's going to be the CEO and who's going to be heading that business? Now, if you look at the way the Asian families are structured, the oldest son, it's usually the oldest male member that usually becomes the CEO, but they might not be the most capable person. So how do you choose who's going to be the next CEO of the company? I want you to think about this, because this is exactly the question that I'm trying to handle for this family. In 2022 and in 2023, what I really wanted to focus on was, how do I get advisors to start focusing on incorporating insurance knowledge and the fundamentals into the right system? So in 2022 and 2023, I was talking about building the right system. So I've had a very interesting journey from 2018, 2019 to 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023.
Went from 1 MDRT to over 1,000 MDRT in 2023. Today, I'm finally going to reveal some of the most significant changes that made my career have that exponential growth, and how you can get started with it too. Wouldn't it be great if you had that new skill and that new market to bring you up inside 2024? A skill that gives you a competitive advantage over others in the market and allows you to start off with the high net worth market right away. After coaching more than over 1,000 top advisors globally, I realized what differentiates top advisors from the rest is their mastery of the art of closing big cases by entering the high net worth market. Certainly, there are multiple paths to enter the high net worth market and closing bigger cases, but after a decade of testing and figuring things out, I found that the most efficient and the impactful way to kickstart this journey is through asset structuring. That day, I realized, and it made that complete change that I wanted and the way I think. I used to believe that I had to start with moderately affluent clients and then gradually work my way up to be with the ultra rich. But I was wrong. In fact, I've seen many of my mentees start with high net worth clients right from the day one and never look back. And I want to show you how you can similarly start off from the top as well. Would you want to learn about asset structuring? If yes, click on the button below for more information.